So it's a few minutes past midday today, and I've just exercised. I was out in the forest and ran for an hour, and then I got home and rode my bike for 1.5 hours, and now I'm looking for my primer, which I can't find for whatever reason. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is. There it is. It's always an issue when you can't find your makeup. No. So, since yesterday, a few things have happened. I am going to see a transgender girl tomorrow. I asked her if it was okay to come home to her and talk. And she said yes, so I'm going to meet her at 1 tomorrow. So that's great. It looks like she needs support because she is 16 years old and she is still not on T-blockers despite wanting to. And that's not good. I mean, the earlier you get on blockers, the better your results are when you transition. But apparently the queues are so long that she hasn't gotten the T-blockers. So that's an issue, of course. I've told her that there are ways to self-medicate, even if they are not that legal. And she said that she didn't know. I mean, I've been self-medicating because I felt that I couldn't continue living with the continued masculinization of my body. But I was 4 years older than her when I started self-medicating. I was 20, almost 21. I started in January of 2014, 20th January 2014. So it's 5 years and about 12 days since I started taking estrogen, and I've done that fairly continuously. There have been a few periods where I haven't taken estrogen, or actually I began with T blockers on the 20th of January, and estrogen came in March that year. I took my first, on my 21st birthday, I took my first estrogen pill, Estrofem, I believe that it was. I ordered, and I've never had any complications with hormones and self-medicating. I guess I've been lucky, but I always kept a fairly low dosage. Of course, I killed my testosterone, but I did not provide sufficient estrogen, and I believe that is why I, for a few years, had quite low stamina, but it was also from eating too little and losing weight, of course. But I got my prescription for estrogen last year, so now I'm not self-medicating, so that's good. But it took a long time from applying to actually getting the medication. And when you are in your teens, just a few months can be very much for you. And this girl, she's been living as a female for several years, and they still haven't done anything, and I can't believe that. Swedish healthcare at its finest. So I've also started reading my first course this term, gerontology. It's a beginner's course, but I believe that it's going to be an experience that I can learn from, because, as I've said here previously, I have a special interest that is supercentenarians. And supercentenarians are people who live to be over 110 years old. And the group that focuses on them is called the Gerontology Research Group. And I've been a member of that group a few times, but I'm not currently a member because I did not agree with a few things there, so I left. But I'm keeping my own database of 110-year-olds. I haven't updated it that regularly this fall. My last updates are from this summer, so there are a few people that have turned 110, and a few people that have died, but are not updated sufficiently yet. But I'm going to get to that as soon as I feel like it, and I feel like I have the time. So anyway, one of the first things that you're going to do in this class is that you're going to watch a movie called The Optimists. It's about a ladies volleyball team. I watched that movie when I exercise now on the bike. I found the movie to be quite interesting. I've seen it once before, but I did not remember it at all. It's about a group of ladies aged 66 to 98, and them going to Sweden to meet a male team in an exhibition match. And it focused a bit on their training and lives outside of volleyball and such. And I think it showcased quite well how it is to get older in Norway, that is. But yes, for people in general, it showed that the younger people of that generation were quite knowledgeable about technology and such, but that the older ones did not know. But the big thing that I take with me from the movie is that you should never stop moving and always keep active. And the lady certainly did that in that movie. I was especially impressed by the oldest member of the team, Goru. She was 98 years old, and still lived alone, I believe. The movie gave that impression, at least. She kept tidy in her apartment, our house. It looked more like a house than an apartment. And she exercised daily, and she didn't worry. She had cancer in her breast, but she kept optimistic, and she said that, yeah, I have cancer, but that's not going to kill me. And she just kept living and staying positive, and that's inspiring. I mean, it's the same with supercentenarians when I've read about them. Or when I've met them. The one trend that you can always see is staying positive. That's how you live long. Of course, you have to have the right genes as well. But you will get far with positive thinking. Of course, you can be killed off by cancer or other such diseases, and no matter how positive you are, you won't survive. But the trend among the oldest people are that they are positive and that they can take things in the flow and not get too upset and just give up living. Another thing that you notice about the oldest people are that almost no one has dementia or any other such neurodegenerative issues. I find that fascinating. That's not coupled to lifestyle or attitude. That's mostly linked to genetics. Of course, you can have vascular dementia and such, and that might be affected by your lifestyle. But the fact that genes do play a great role in living to an advanced age. Oh my. I look scary. I don't know why it dropped here today, but it did. But I'm not going to fix it yet. I'm going to fix my eyes first. And other things that's happened, I can't think of any at the moment. I mean, I do these videos daily, so there aren't that many things that have the opportunity to occur. Concealer is your best friend. Concealer is your best friend. And I feel quite relaxed today. I was in quite a bit of stress yesterday when I met my therapist, because Kia was not that well in her stomach, and I've been exercising, and the weather was bad, and I was a bit late, and I was a bit nervous about what the meeting would entail, but things went fairly well overall. I have to find a better concealer than the one I have, because it doesn't really conceal the bags. It's not like bags, it's just like dull grey under my eyes. And some pleasure when I'm finished with makeup, and then I'm going to record my voice, and then I'm going to see a few lectures in gerontology, and then I'm going to post a review of the movie on the course board, and when I'm finished with that, I might go out and play some Pokemon, or something, or I'm just going to eat or whatever. But that's it for now. So, bye.